Welcome to the Indiana Basketball Weekly Show, and I obviously
Man,
get the wrong intro to start, but you got both
yeah.
intros that way, 2 for 1. I'm your co-host, Mike Goodpaster, here with Indiana Hoosier legend Steve Risley. How you doing today, Steve?
Pretty good, Mike. How you doing on your last football excursion? Coming off your last football excursion of the season.
It wasn't my last one. I got another one in December in
You
Tennessee.
want to talk a little bit about how the team fared down
No,
in
not really. I don't. I have no interest in talking about how the team fared, Steve. It did not go
weren't you
well.
playing at the Pasadena in the Rose Bowl?
Huh?
Weren't you playing out in Pasadena in the
We're
Rose
in
Bowl?
Panama City Beach, which was 80 degrees all day, and now I've got sun poisoning all over my arms. So,
Another typical day in California, 80 degrees and sunny. That's what it's going to be here today.
well, it was in Florida too, and that's where I was, but now I'm not. So we're back here to talk Indiana Hoosier basketball. While I was gone, we had a win over Incarnate Ward. We had a win against Lindenwood. Neither one were impressive. Both, I think, brought up possible issues that we kind of knew existed there to begin with. But in the Lindenwood game, you had Tucker DeVries bounce back, played well after he had struggled against Incarnate Ward. He scored 25 points. The only other double figure scorer was Lamar Wilkerson. This was not a great performance for this team. But I'll tell you what, even though it wasn't a great performance, they still won by 20. They only had 8 turnovers, but they didn't shoot the ball well in the last 2 games overall. 37% total against Lindenwood, 32% from 3-point range. But also, Steve, I don't think we can expect to make every shot all the time. And the question is, can this team win against better competition if they're not shooting the ball that well?
That's the $10 question. I think we got a little taste of that here. I mean, I think the things that and you kind of screwed me up a little bit because you went backwards on me. See, I had my whole spiel land out starting with Incarnate Wood,
Ward.
Ward, wherever. I don't go there this early in the morning out here. Um, Yeah, but they're almost mirror games in a lot of sense. Obviously, the biggest gap there for the change in Indiana was the shooting. For the first time, we're not shooting 50% from the 3-point line, 50%, 54% from the 2-point line, and I'm really glad that happened because it really gave us a look at what's going to happen when Indiana's not going to shoot well. And like you said, we're not going to shoot those kinds of numbers, like those kinds of percentages every game. I thought that both teams we played, we can pretty well mirror these and lump them together. Both teams were very scrappy. They were fairly athletic. As generally gets programs like these get recruited, Incarnate Word and Linwood, they tend to have to go for the best athletes and maybe not the best basketball players because many of the best basketball players are scooped up. So they'll tend to go out and recruit really good athletes, and that's the value of playing a team like this. Is you get a team that can run, that can come at you. That's maybe a little more physical. Doesn't really they play a lot more with they don't have anything to lose, so they might as well come out here and just have fun and play. Give you a little different look. I was mediocre. I gave both games for Indiana really about a C as to how they responded to it. I think that some key factors were offensively. What I noticed when the shots stopped going in, I felt the team, in my estimation, started going a little bit more one-on-one, looking for points. They started trying to take the ball to the hole, but the really crisp passing around the horn, keep passing till you had the open shot, seemed to diminish a little bit to me in both games, and there was a little bit more of Wilkerson trying to get to the hole. All of a sudden, I felt that DeVries was looking to put points on the board, maybe because he felt it was his responsibility to do that. I'm not saying in a negative way, but there was a little bit more individualistic effort than I'd seen in the first maybe 3 games out of that. I still think we have a rebounding problem. I still think we play defense man on man and not man zone, which this team, because of their lack of really depth and strength inside, is going to have to play help defense. Now, they're going to get a good test against Kansas State. We'll talk about that when you break down Kansas State, because Kansas State's a very physical, big basketball team. But they're going to have to play better defense on the toes of their feet, not on the heels of their feet. And I still just feel defensively, we haven't put our best foot forward yet. We've kind of been backwards a little bit. We've talked about, Mike, you and I incessantly talk about the first 5 minutes of the second half. I know against Lindenwood, we went to the 16:40 mark in the second half to start second half before we scored a point. So we did not own that. And you say we won one game. We only against the Incarnate Wood. What was the score of that game? We didn't win by many.
No, it was a 9 or 10 point win. It was a game that they blew a 19 point lead. Incarnate Ward got back in the game.
Yeah,
Lindenwood was a game where I thought IU played better defensively in that game, and
a
I
little
think
bit better. Yes,
and I think the other guy outside of DeVries in the Lindenwood game that stood out to me was Sam Alexis, who's played really well so far this season. I mean, he finished last Thursday's game with 8 points, 10 rebounds, 4 block shots in just 25 minutes off the bench. But the issue is Reed Bailey, who in his last 29 minutes of basketball has had just 3 rebounds. Now, he's done plenty of things well. He's an efficient finisher. He's an excellent free throw shooter. He's an above average passer for a big man, but he's been underwhelming on the glass right now. And the Hoosiers cannot afford for him to be underwhelming on the glass right now.
No, Mike, you're nailed. I think what is the concern of this basketball team is not. I think they're good kids, but tonight both Bailey and Sisley are going to have to learn to play big tonight. I mean, they can't. Up until now, they really haven't had to play big. And you're right. In the Linwood game, they kind of got exposed, and somewhat with Incarnate Wood too. Against Incarnate Wood, we got out rebounded.
Ward. It's Incarnate Ward.
Wood. What's it matter? Tomato. Who cares? We against Incarnate Ward, we got out rebounded 42-29. I mean, that's against the D3 school almost, or
they're not a D3 school almost.
Well, okay, I don't see.
But they're still like a middle of the rung to lower third in Division I college.
Yeah, I mean, but we got pretty well killed on the boards. What I'm saying, we got out rebounded offensively 12-8, defensively 30-21. This team cannot afford to not block out. I mean, I have not seen an improvement in that, which surprises me. If an old fart like me can see that, I got to believe that DeVries and his rock solid coaching staff has got to be seeing that in film too. And I'm not seeing really a pattern there, especially against Linwood. I just felt like it was just a bunch of us 10 guys going after a ball, and that's not how Indiana rebounds.
And Lindenwood out rebounded us 51-44.
Yeah. So there's 2 games. I tell you what, tonight the difference could be the boards. I mean, you look at the lineup of these guys. They got 2 6'7", 6'8" bruisers that are 235 pounds that can play. These are upperclassmen. These aren't freshmen. And these kids tonight are going to pound the boards and whatnot. So I think it's okay to say you have some shooting nights. Like I said, we cannot expect to shoot 50% and 54% game in and game out. That's not going to happen. No basketball team in college basketball is going to do that. But it's what you do with the rest of your game that tells whether you're going to be a ranked team, a contending team, or just another college basketball team that plays a bunch of putzes the first 5 games of the year and waltzes your way into 20 wins. And I don't think Indiana's that team. I don't think they're going there, but they're showing some signs that they've got some glaring weaknesses they need to be working on right now if they're going to try and validate themselves by playing what I call far inferior teams. This is why I subscribe to Knight's policy when we played as, Knight didn't care if we played 500 ball in preseason because those games didn't matter to him. He wanted us playing tough competition. He wanted us playing on the road. He wanted us going into hostile environments, and he wanted us getting better every game. I don't think you get better by taking on these Lindenwoods and Incarnate Woods or
But the
Wards.
thing is this: everybody has to do that. You did have a Marquette game. You'll get a Kansas State. You'll get a Kentucky. You'll get a
Well, I
Louisville.
don't even think Marquette was that
So,
good, truthfully.
well, but going in, you would think
That's a
Marquette would
name.
be a good team.
Oh, Ellis just got into the Indiana Basketball High School Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Now they announced the inductees today.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, when you look at the Kansas State game, which if you want, we can go ahead and look at now. This is a team that plays very
Well, are we done? Are we
similar.
done with what we've seen?
Yeah, I think unless you got something else you want to bring up.
Let me just, I took 4 pages of notes knowing you wouldn't do crap because you'd be so worried about your football team winning a national championship justifiably. How'd you do with that?
Oh, we lost 15 to 14.
It's kind of like playing Aurora, isn't it?
Lost 15 to 14. Yeah.
Kind of like playing Aurora High School in the semi-state, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let me see what we haven't talked about. Defense still concerning. It's just concerning. It's not a problem yet. It's just, yeah.
And Brian, Steve doesn't remember the cupcake schools or when he played because they didn't matter. He only worried about playing the big dogs, right?
I don't remember playing this many cupcake schools and not having a big dog laced once every 2 or 3 games in between them.
Yeah.
I don't remember playing 5 cupcake schools to start with. We had a North Carolina or a Kansas.
You might have played 5, but the other 9 regular season games were against big time teams.
Yeah, exactly. And but IU's got some tests coming up here. They're going to really see where they fare in their preparedness for the Big Ten. I think we've covered it. I think I did not like not scoring till the 16:42 mark in the second half. I just think the first 5 minutes of the second half is just a critical point of a ball game for a team to take control and win. And again, I don't think the 20-point win against Lindenwood's indicative of how they played against Lindenwood. I think that they just got hot or they just went on a break. I thought.
How about this? I think Incarnate Ward was just a better team than Lindenwood, which is why Ward got back in the game.
That might have been that had something to do with it too. But I would say at that point that Incarnate was the cream of the crop.
Well, so, I can tell you this also. When you look at Kansas State, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. They're guard-driven. They don't rebound the ball well either. If you look at them, their last game, they got beat 86-85 by Nebraska.
And Nebraska's supposed to be pretty good in the Big Ten.
I never said they weren't. P.J. Haggerty, 27 points. Nate Johnson, 12. Bashir, 26. Those are the 3 guards that started. They're 3 guards.
PJ is leading the country in scoring right now.
Yeah. Inside, you got McGriff. He scored 8 points. You got Rapikia. I don't even know how to say. He had 4. So really,
he had a 21-point game against the previous game.
Yeah, would that have been against Tulsa?
Yeah, I believe it was Tulsa. Yeah, so he had 21 points there. So he's capable with a weak defense of putting the ball in the bucket.
Yeah, but the point is, 65 of the 85 points they scored in our last game were by the 3 guards. They don't go real deep. They don't go real deep. They got C.J. Jones. They got David Castillo, who both will play 15 to 20 minutes. So they're a 7-man team. I think Indiana might be slightly deeper than that at 8. Let's see. But I would say when you look at Kansas State, they're dangerous. They've got Jerome Tang. He's in his 4th season as the head coach at Kansas State. Overall, he's 66-43. He has spent most of his time in D1 as an assistant for Baylor for like 19 years under Scott Drew. He was a key factor in orchestrating Baylor's 2021 NCAA championship run, and that's what Scott Drew said. He was named the head coach here in 2022. They made it to the Elite 8. I think it was in 23, but I'm not positive. He was also the Naismith Coach of the Year that year, Big 12 Coach of the Year. And since then, Kansas State hasn't been able to recreate that magic. But with Haggerty there now, I mean, you've got a win over Tulsa by a point. You've got a win over Cal by 3 points, a win over Mississippi State by 21. Those may not be 3 great teams, but they're 3 very good teams. And when you look at this, I mean, Haggerty is the guy here. He earned his first Big 12 Player of the Week award, lather on today after averaging 31.7 points, 7.7 rebounds, 6 assists, and helping Kansas State to a 2-1 record and a runner-up finish in the Hall of Fame Classic. I mean, this is a team that scores. They scored 85 or more points for the fifth time in 6 games, including 4 games of 90 or more points. And they can put it in the basket. I mean, this is going to be a high scoring game. And it may come down to who rebounds the best because neither team really rebounds the ball that well. But let's face it, when you got 2 teams like this, it's going to come down to who shoots it the best. And I think you could see a huge game between Haggerty and DeVries, maybe even Wilkerson get in there. And I think that is the one advantage IU has. You got a guy in Haggerty at Kansas State who is consistently a big time scorer. The other guys kind of rotate around who it is. With DeVries, big time scorer, but you've also got Wilkerson, who I think could be a big time scorer tonight also. But to me, this is a game right now that the point spread sits at Indiana by -8 to 10. I'm an IU fan. If I had to bet this game, though, I would probably take Kansas State in the points right now. Now, I think IU will win the game, but I think 8 to 10 points is way too much to give in this game.
I'm not under investigation for gambling, so I don't gamble.
How do you
Point
know you're not
spreads
under
don't matter to me.
They wouldn't tell you.
Just a win's a win. Uh, um, I see this as another opportunity. Everything you said, yes. I see it just as one caveat. It's an opportunity game for Indiana, and the first time probably this season yet we've gone up against a big time scorer. We'll see how we handle him defensively. I have my questions about Indiana's help defense anyway, and I think that whoever they guard, probably Wilkerson start on this guy. I think he's about 6'4". I don't know. I don't know what DeVries is thinking. I haven't read him well enough yet to understand. I don't know if this is a good matchup for the younger DeVries, scoring DeVries versus coaching DeVries. But this will be a test defensively to see how we handle a big time score. And I also think it'll come down to, like you said, shooting. Definitely, it's a good call. But I also think it's going to come down to winning the boards. You said you don't think either team is that good at rebounding. But I think the team that out rebounds the other team is going to have a definite advantage. And I look at the rosters. I see Kansas State with their 7 players. The 2 big guys are starting. They're running 3 guard, 2 forward offense like we do. A little bit beefier than our guys, and we have a true freshman playing a lot. So we'll see. I mean, it's
I think
a good test for Indiana. I'm liking this game. I'm excited to watch next week.
This week. It's tonight.
It's tonight.
So, yes. And
afternoon for me.
I think more than likely it'll be Connor Way on Haggerty. Haggerty will have a little bit of a size advantage, but I expect it'll be Connor Way on Haggerty. So
I think we can tell right away how their offense is set up. Kansas State's. I haven't seen any game film of Kansas State because I'm focusing on trying to learn the Big Ten teams. But I don't know if the offense is geared to get PJ his points or if he gets them on his own.
Everything runs through him.
Okay, well, if it runs through him, but does he score on his own?
He can do it either way. I mean, the dude's just a legit scorer.
I noticed DeVries is a better scorer when he's working the system than he is when he's trying to do it 1-on-5.
I don't know. I think he 1-on-5 against Lindenwood pretty good. He scored 27.
Yeah.
So I think both guys are going to get their points. I think the difference here is who is the second guy that gets the points? Is it a guy from Kansas State or is it a Wilkerson or somebody like that for IU? I mean, it's going to be the second guy that adds the points.
Well, and both Bailey and Sisley have had 20-point games. I mean, they've put points on the board in certain games. So they're capable of doing that as well, too. So Yeah, who steps up is the number 2 player. I think you're going to see a good head-to-head matchup. Maybe not head-to-head, but a good matchup point-wise out of DeVries and out of PJ. What is PJ's last name? Newton?
Haggerty.
Haggerty. I said
And then,
Haggerty Car Insurance. See, I'll never forget that again.
and then you got Abidi Bashir, who scored 26 in the last game.
Yeah.
So who goes off? Who gets the other one? But I think
I think owning the boards. I think staying in your offensive sets, running the boards. I think Indiana runs the floor extremely well. The scouting report on Kansas State was they run the floor well as well. There you go. Let's go to the well one more time on that, right? They run as well. Well, what do you think of that, Mike?
not much, Steve.
There you go. Well, that's a good answer.
But I mean, you can bet the over here to make your money tonight because both teams are averaging. IU's probably not averaging 90 now, but the Wildcats are averaging 92.8. They shoot 43.3 from the 3-point line. They have an effective field goal percentage of 61%, and they get a couple guys here shooting the ball over 50% from deep. The guy that I think is the key is Haggerty's going to get his points. But a guy like
DeVries is going to get his points.
Yeah, they're going to get their points. What do the other guys do? And Bashir is the second leading scorer. He averages 14.3. He's making 4 threes per game. But you got the guy that I really worry about here is their other double-digit scorer, which is Kamari McGriff. He's a 6'9" wing. I think he could give IU matchup problems.
What about 230, 225?
Yeah, he's a big dude. He plays the wing. He's a double-digit scorer. He could get stuff done there. And, but this defense for Kansas State, when I watched the film of the Nebraska game, defensively, they allow opponents to score at a high rate, particularly in 2-point attempts. So I think this is a game where Indiana, instead of it's basically dribble, drive, dish it out for the 3, or dribble, drive, take it to the hole. So I think either way works here. And the other thing that we really don't know, this is Kansas State's first real true road game this season. So, they played one of those classic games where it's a neutral site.
Which is one more than we have.
And the issue here is this. Well, we played the one neutral site game.
Yeah, we had United Center in Chicago.
Yeah.
Which is Indiana's second home.
So we still played a neutral site game, Steve.
There you go.
Kansas State was picked to finish 8th in the Big 12. But
Indiana was picked to finish second to last in the Big 10.
Were they?
I don't know.
You have no clue, do you?
That preseason crap is just giving people like you who've never played the game an opportunity to make yourself sound intelligent.
Well, put it like this. With Haggerty, their entire team's success relies on him being able to get 25 points, 30 points. I think with Indiana, there's not one guy that has to do that for this team to win. I think Indiana still has.
Do we know that?
In scores. We do not know that.
We do not know that because we really haven't played a game where somebody's got his head to step up. And I think against one of the teams, was it Incarnate, where Tucker only had 14 points, and who stepped up? Alexis stepped up, and Sisley stepped up. So we had a couple players step up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think when you look at the two rosters, I think IU's got 5 or 6 guys that can step up and score 15 points. With Kansas State, I think it's 3 or 4.
Yeah, I'm not knocking IU. I'm just, like I said, we're nitpicking now with Indiana. I like the foundation and the nucleus of this basketball team a lot. I'd be banging the crap out of the bigs and getting them meaner and tougher because they're going to have to get meaner and tougher. Because I don't think they're going to get taller and wider.
The problem is this. This is my concern. And I brought this up to you before. Last week, was it Monday or Tuesday? I watched Kentucky play Michigan State.
Yeah.
And when you watch that game, those two teams are enormous. I mean, it just makes you wonder how Indiana will handle a team like a Kentucky, which they're going to have to play, and Michigan State, which they're going to have to play, because those are two big physical teams that can also shoot the ball. So that worries me. And honestly, if you looked at it from what I saw now, I would expect this team to be 20 to 23 wins, make the NCAA tournament. From there, it's just according to the matchup that you get, if you know what I mean. I mean, you might play a smaller team that shoots the ball. You match up pretty good against them. then again, you may play a team that's huge up front that rebounds the ball well, and then you've got a bad matchup. JDB Brown says Lamar is going off tonight. He will be the leading scorer for the game.
I have no reason to say that's not a possibility. But
I'm good with that. I like to see him lead at 25 and Tucker follow up with 24, and we'll be in pretty good shape.
Yep, we would be.
But as in the end here, I tend to think that Indiana came out the first 3 or 4 games. Everybody's excited to play. There's a little bit of fire. You know, they beat Marquette, which is a name. They beat Milwaukee, who I think was a decent team. And then you play Incarnate Ward in Lindenwood. I think it's almost human nature, Steve, to have a little bit of a letdown. But at least in the games they had the letdown, they still got to win. And it was fairly comfortable win in both games. And yes, Dorn didn't play. And did Dorn play in either one of those games, Steve?
No, I think he got some minutes in the second game a little bit. And I got the, let me see, I got the, Dorn got, he was 15 minutes, 1 for 4. He scored 6 points. Against,
and there's 1 or 2 other guys, including the forward.
It's not Lindenwood anyway. It's Lindenwood.
I know.
You were screwing that up like I was screwing up.
How did I screw it up? I said Lindenwood while you were saying Linwood. And I knew if I corrected you, you'd just get pissed because I already corrected you about Incarnate Wood. But I didn't want to get you any more stressed than you already were.
I'm always stressed, Mike.
I was already a little pissed because I watched a 2002 ESPN movie about Bobby Knight this morning. Brian Dennehy's a dumbass, but go ahead.
You know, Bob Knight's a hard guy to
it's impossible. It's about like having a movie about Muhammad Ali.
There's just no other character ever built than Bob Knight. I mean,
JDB Brown said he played in both. Steve, come on.
He played in both. Well, I didn't look. I did not look at the.
It's all right, Steve.
How many minutes did he get against? Okay, he got 3 minutes and 34 seconds. That's not playing. That's like Jimmy Christmas. He didn't even get his uniform sweaty. They didn't wash his damn uniform. Come on. I'll give you 15 minutes, but Christ almighty, 3 minutes. Oh, he played. We find these rocket surgeons.
Brown says Sam Alexis is the most important player on the roster this year. I think it's Tucker DeVries and Lamar Wilkerson because if they're not scoring 30 points, it doesn't matter what the hell Sam Alexis does. But Sam Alexis is extremely important.
I guess teams manifested itself as they've taken the eye and put it behind the team. I don't, as long as they keep their crisp perimeter passing, they keep filling the lanes like they are offensively on the break. They control the break. The other thing that's important here too, if you want to take their big men out of play, is control the tempo of this ball game.
Yeah, but the thing is, both teams kind of want to play at the same tempo.
Both teams want to run. Both teams are a run and gun, more of a run and gun type team, an up tempo game. So, but if we control that tempo, we run it when we want to, and we push their short man roster.
Oh wait, JDB Brown just took a shot at you. He put Steve type minutes.
Yeah, no, whatever. Yeah, you want to see my championship ring one more time?
Can we see it?
JBB.
Can we see it?
No, it's on. Trust me, I'm wearing it. Don't worry, I wear it.
Okay.
So thanks, JB. I appreciate the love.
Yeah, that was very rude. I thought.
No, he was spot on. He had a shot at me.
There was many games you played a lot more than 3.
Doesn't mean I don't love you, JBB, JB.
Usually, if Steve only played 3 minutes or less, it's just because he'd done something wrong off the court, and I wouldn't let him play.
It means that I had some J&B the night before the game. And I would go to coach and say, I don't think I'm going to be much of help to you today.
Sam seems like the only legit paint presence. It doesn't seem like that. It is that right now.
Yeah, we don't have that. That's the concerning part of this basketball.
So the question is this, Steve, when did they just start Sam over Reed? Or does Reed give this team so many other things that you don't worry so much about it?
I think Reed gives us a lot of other things that we don't want to take away. He penetrates well to the hole. He's adept with the ball around the bucket. He's just not very physical. He doesn't avoid contact. He just doesn't, seek it.
Brian Wetters said, I watched Family Feud recently. You're bored, aren't you? And they had a question on what might a basketball coach throw, and a contestant answered chair, to which Steve Harvey mentioned Bob Knight. That's sad too, by the way. That's what's remembered.
The what?
He mentioned the chair, and then
No,
Steve Harvey
it's
said Bobby
legend.
Knight.
I mean, it's legend.
I
It's
know.
college basketball legend.
And actually, is it even considered a bad thing that he did anymore? Or is
No,
it just something funny that he did?
it's it's something that'll endear him to the heart and soul of most true college basketball fans forever and ever. Just like
Well,
Indiana's 32-0 basketball team 50 years ago. Can you believe we have gone 50 years without another team going undefeated in
answer
college
me this,
basketball?
though, and this could happen. I don't want to jinx it, but I got to put the stuff on my sun poisoning. I'm not touching myself. But what I was going to say, but what I was going to say is, you had the possibility. Is there any other college program that has had an undefeated national championship college basketball team and an undefeated college football championship team to say, or at any time in history?
Well, I can guarantee you it hasn't. There have been other undefeated college basketball teams.
And there's been other undefeated college
UConn has
football
gone
teams.
undefeated. Women's team's gone undefeated
But
many a times.
nobody
And
cares.
that's
Wait a
legit.
second. Nobody. No, it's not, because it's women's college basketball and nobody cares.
Don't go there.
It doesn't. Nobody cares.
Don't go there.
They couldn't beat a good junior high team.
Don't go there.
Why not?
We're not taking that show in that direction.
When's the last time you watched when you watched a women's basketball game?
I watch about every Fever game there is.
No, you don't.
Oh yeah.
No, you don't, because you told me after Kaylin
Who are
Clark
the two blondes on
you
the
didn't even
team?
watch it anymore.
Cunningham, and who's the other one?
I don't know. I don't watch that crap.
Trying to be polite here.
Well, I'm just saying, you can't give me. I don't know of any. Notre Dame's never had an undefeated basketball season. Neither's Alabama.
No.
If Indiana was to go undefeated in both and win national championships, it would be the first program in the history of the world to do that.
And I would give Scott Dawson full credit for that.
Yeah, but you also got to give him full credit for Mike Wilson.
I give him full credit already for putting together, two good programs right now.
Well, we got one right now. We're working on the second one. Tonight would be a big step towards that, I think, especially if you came out and you moved the ball, you hit your threes, you get a little bit of rebound, and you win by double digits against a solid Kansas State team. But the Louisville game looks like a tall task right now.
What I'm looking for is just improvement in the areas where I see weakness, and that's defensive play, helping out. They're going to have to help out. They're going to have to be better at the man zone than they've been to date, and blocking out. They're going to have to block out. I believe that the team that control. I believe the point scoring is a wash. I think that PJ and what's DeVries?
Yeah, but you got Lamar. If you get a Lamar Wilkerson show.
What's DeVries' first name?
Tucker.
Okay, I just keep going with Darren.
Hey, Brian Wetter asked, what caused the 1981 national championship to lose 10 regular season? They lost 9 regular season games. And what caused them to lose? The other team scored
JB will tell you those are the 10 games I've only played 3.5
Yes, if Steve would have played 14 minutes in those games, they probably would have lost them. Yeah. I think there was a few of them where you were completely in the doghouse, though.
Yeah, there were a few I didn't play at all because I was so deep into the dog. I was in the cheap seats in the doghouse. There were people in first class seats in the doghouse that got to play. But
yeah, it'll happen.
It happens. For the night, it definitely happens. And with my personality, it is definitely going to happen.
Yeah, your personality really is a turnoff to a lot.
But I think the keys to tonight for Indiana, what I want to see, there's no doubt. I want to see crashing the boards. I want to see the shooting will take care of itself. This is a good shooting ball club, so I'm not worried about the shooting. We still outshot the other team both times, so that's good. As long as you're out shooting the other team, you're getting an advantage there. Blocking out, rebound, defensive help, and staying true to your offense. Keep the ball moving and lively. Keep scoring points off of assists and not off one-on-one play. And I felt against Lindenwood, we started trying to score a little bit off one-on-one play.
What the heck?
There's a mute button on your phone.
I know.
Okay.
Don't be rude to me, Stephen.
All right. Well, mine's on mute. So.
Well, I thought we'd be done by now, but you will shut the hell up.
Well,
sometimes
we got to talk
goes on
about
forever.
one of the great things that's been on television here. Has anybody else watched the Ken Burns documentary on the American Revolution?
Most Ken Burns stuff's bullshit.
Fabulous.
So.
Man, I didn't realize how stupid I was about the American Revolution.
Well, you know what? You better make sure that all the information you're getting is true because it's a Ken Burns documentary.
No, I think Ken Burns does a pretty good job of fact checking.
Terrible. He doesn't. He doesn't fact check anything.
No, I don't buy that at all because he has
watch
a lot
his
of
baseball one.
on.
The baseball one, there is so many errors that are just unreal. The dude is not a documentarian. He basically just goes ahead and puts up other people's stuff, slaps it together, and there you go.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean,
read my article about
anytime I try and encourage anybody to do anything, I'll tell you what, I learned a lot by watching it. And the general principle of how many times the colonists were in trouble, how Washington was a fuck up, excuse my French, as a general. And he kind of F-trooped his way into a lot of wins. And the British got too cocky for themselves, and the French saved the day. The French came over here and won the damn American revolutions for the Americans.
That's why I never understood why, Americans hated the French so much.
I know it's the French that hated America because we screwed them with the Louisiana Purchase. We bought it back from them for pennies.
Well, they had to sell it back to us.
Who was a bastard was George Rogers Clark. That man did not like Native American indigenous people.
Well, there seemed to be a lot of folks back here didn't like Indians. So
I'll tell you what, but George Rogers Clark was the Larry Bird of Indian haters. Indian dislikes.
The hell's Larry Bird got to do with Indian haters?
Because Larry was a trash talker and would just smack you in the face and kick you in the nuts and do everything to you if you even looked at him crossways. So, but anyway, this was it's a good, interesting documentary. It's whether it's all be accurate or not, I'll never know because I wasn't there.
What's it on?
It was on PBS, so probably be repeated on PBS.
I thought they took PBS off the air.
No, President President Trump.
President Dump. I like that. That was funny.
No, I'm not. I don't start sending letters and notes. I'm a conservative Republican. So I'm going to miss Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Well, Trump doesn't like her.
Oh, he wishes he hadn't said what he said because he didn't want her out of Congress.
Yes, he did.
I know he didn't. He's just Trump's ready, fire, aim.
He's a screw up, just like every other politician we have. Yeah. They're all bought and sold.
But anyway, if you ever watched the movie The Patriot with Mel Gibson,
that was a great movie.
Well, there's a lot of singular events now The Patriot's a fictional movie, but the character that Gibson plays, the Ghost, the French call him the Ghost.
Yeah.
There was a character like that the British feared.
Yes.
Although now in the movie, Mel Gibson makes him a little bit more of a pacifist. He does not want to fight, does not want to. The guy that was like that in the real revolution wanted to kill anything that walked. He was feared by everybody, feared by the French. The French were on his side, and they were afraid of him. So this guy was. So that part's true. The band, the captain that led around with the cavalry that went and burning villages and locking people and. That really happened. That according to Ken Burns, that troop of soldiers and Cornwallis hated the group because he ended up. Well, Cornwallis was an idiot too.
Well, his name wasn't Cornwall; it was Cornwallis, Steve.
I said Cornwallis.
No, you said Cornwall.
No, you started interrupting before I got the "is" out.
No, you said Cornwall. It was clear. Just accept it.
Anyway, so it was really fun to watch that because. there were parts of the Patriot. The whole show's not true, but there were parts of it that were accurate, as in any Hollywood venture. There's a lot of made-for-TV drama put into it.
All right, Steve. Tonight, Indiana, Kansas State. Do the Hoosiers win?
Yes, I believe they do. I think as long as they're playing in the confines of Assembly Hall, I think it's worth 10 points. Kansas State has not played a road game yet either, really, truly. I know they finished runner-up in the Hall of Fame Classic to Nebraska. Nebraska is not a bad basketball team. They're well coached. So they only lost by 1 point. I think they're going to come in and give Indiana its best test, but I think that Assembly Hall is worth 10 points in this game. And if that's what the spread is, I think Indiana covers the spread and wins the game. Now, again, remember, I don't gamble. So if you want the real true lowdown on the gambling spread, go to thegruelingtruth.com and look for Mike Pastor's breakdown.
Who's Mike Pastor? Damn, you can't even get my name right now.
I said Mike Goodpaster.
You said Mike Pastor.
I said Mike. No, I was talking about my pastor earlier. Mike Goodpaster will give you a blow-by-blow breakdown of how to bet this game. I am not capable of doing that.
I would just bet the over. I think Indiana will win the game. I think it'll be somewhere near of like 88-80. I think the 10 points is too shaky. Brian Wetters says Nebraska is for real. I think Nebraska is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best team in the Big Ten is Purdue. I think they're the best team in the country, unfortunately, especially when they went to Alabama and smacked them by 7 or 8 points. So IU's got their work cut out for them. But what we've got going for us is we're about to find out how good Indiana is, because we're going to start the Big Ten season next Wednesday against Minnesota. You got Penn State, you got Kentucky, you got Louisville, you got Kansas State tonight, you got the dreaded Bethune-Cookman on Saturday night. But we're also going to have a show tomorrow recapping the Indiana-Kansas State game at 1 p.m. Eastern. Correct, Steve?
We are?
Yeah. What would they play tonight? So I figured we probably should do a show to talk about it tomorrow.
What is tomorrow? Wednesday?
Yeah. You got nothing else to do at 1 o'clock.
I got to go to the car wash.
At 10 o'clock in the morning, Steve.
Well, it's the day before Thanksgiving. How many people do you think are going to be getting their cars washed?
In LA, I think most of them
over the river and through the woods.
In LA, most of them are going to clean their cars, because when they have their family over for Thanksgiving dinner and everybody's got to sit in the car because they're homeless. Yeah.
Wow. Are you just always just negative of a person?
I just don't like Californians.
I'm not crazy about. I love the weather. I mean, it is freaking. Although they do have this thing called the In the Eye of the Storm, this hour-long thing where it's all done with people submitting their camera, their phone camera stuff they take. And they did one last night on the fires out here last year. Man, we can see fires from our house. We were that close to it, and we were in a Ready 3 evacuation mode for about 4 days. And man, I didn't realize how much in peril people were in that thing. Right within our backyard. I mean, it was wow. That was a tough one to watch. Hit close to home.
All right. You got anything else? You seem awful talkative today.
Haven't talked to you in about 4 or 5 days. We haven't talked to IU basketball.
No. Okay. Well, we can talk it again tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Steve. Indiana, Kansas State recap. And we can preview the huge game coming up against Bethune-Cookman on Saturday.
What is IU football plays Friday night, don't they?
IU plays Friday night, and they will beat up Purdue. It won't be as bad as last year. I actually think Purdue has a pretty good coach now. I think they're a decent team. They just can't finish. It seems
so you're saying take the under on 66-0?
Yeah, I think the point spread right now is 28. I don't know.
Oh, take the over on that.
I don't know. Because you also got to figure Indiana is looking ahead to a game against Ohio State.
I don't think that Signotti's going to let that happen.
It doesn't. Dude, you can be the greatest coach in the world.
I think that Signotti is the one coach in the country who's not going to allow that.
His name is Signetti.
I disagree.
You disagree that his name's Signetti?
What?
His name is Signetti.
When do they vote for the Heisman?
I think it's after the Big Ten championship game.
So they'll vote for the Heisman then.
So whoever wins that game probably wins the Heisman.
That's probably a good point. It's going to come down to those two, isn't it?
Brian Wetters says IU 49, Purdue 7. I would say Indiana 56, Purdue 14.
I don't think they put 14 points on the board against IU.
I think they could mistakenly do it. But I figure maybe they'll pull some guys in the fourth quarter because they're saving it for Ohio State the next week. And wouldn't it be great if Michigan beat Ohio State just to screw everybody up?
That would be fun. What would happen?
I don't know. I think it'd be Indiana against USC or Indiana against Michigan.
No,
I don't know.
No, I think Ohio State still's in the championship.
Are they still in it either way?
Well, they beat Oregon.
They didn't play Oregon, Steve.
I thought they did play Oregon.
They didn't.
Are you sure? I thought they played Oregon.
Steve, just trust me, okay? Just trust me, Steve. It'll be okay. Do you trust me now?
No, I don't.
Well, you should, because I'm right, Steve.
Okay.
It says if Sig gets a chance, he will rest his stars. It would be Indiana and Michigan. That's what I thought. And it was Michigan or USC. So, yeah, I would much prefer Indiana versus Michigan just because I wouldn't like to see Indiana in an undefeated battle for the Big Ten championship with Ohio State, because how do you play your next game after a game like that? Especially if you win it. I mean, come on. You win a Big Ten championship, you're IU. That would be hard to follow that up. Of course, they would get a bye. And really, if they lose the game by close,
they still get a bye.
Yeah, well, they won't get a bye. Well, they might get a bye. If they lose like 24-23 or 38-37, they probably would. And I'm not worried about Texas A&M.
So if Michigan beats Ohio State, then Michigan goes to the championship game?
Against Indiana.
So Indiana's already locked in.
I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah, I think the win against Wisconsin locked them in.
Because even if they lose to Purdue, they will have beaten the tiebreakers with Oregon and Penn State.
I don't know which tiebreaker they use with that, but
head-to-head would be first tiebreaker. This
is the thing, though. If Indiana's undefeated right now, if they were to lose to Purdue, then it would be a three-way tiebreak if Michigan beats Ohio State or however many teams are in it. I'm pretty sure Indiana's already in it, so there's no worries there. But you can't lose to Purdue, because you lose to Purdue, lose the Big Ten championship game, and then all of a sudden you're on 11 seed.
Yeah, then you're playing the first game again.
Yeah. But, all right, Steve, we're going to wrap it up. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell notification on YouTube. Check us out on iHeartRadio. Check us out on iTunes. Make sure you like us everywhere. You can follow us on X at Grueling Truth. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock to wrap up the Kansas State game. But for now, for Steve Risley, I'm Mike Goodpaster.
Hey, wait, can we talk about one thing?
No, I had gotten all through that shit, and then you've always got to stagger in and just throw a fucking word. What?
How about the cheap call against Mahomes about the guy tackling him on the release, and then he gets called for penalty for pile driving him down?
What about it? It happens all the time.
I know. Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to go on record as saying, is the LeBron James of the NFL.
No, he doesn't take dives. It's just when he gets hit, they penalize it.
But he flops. He was crying going halfway down on that hit. His arms were already flailing, looking at the referee like, you got to throw a flag. You got to throw a flag.
Well, you know what? If refs did not go for that crap, they wouldn't do it.
Well, that was critical, because if we had him fourth down then, and we're taking the ball back in a good situation, instead we give them.
I would say this, Steve. I didn't see the game, but I did see the fact that Jonathan Taylor touched the ball less than 20 times.
Shane Strachan needs to go.
If Jonathan Taylor touches that ball 25 times, they win the game.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm going to tell you what, and I know this is impossible to happen, but if I was the Irsay family now and had the money they have, I would go to, who's the Pittsburgh coach? What's his name?
Mike Tomlin. You don't want him.
Who's a better coach in the NFL right now that needs to win a Super Bowl?
Well, he won a Super Bowl a long time ago, though. Go get John Gruden. That'll make it entertaining.
It'll make it entertaining, and I'll tell you what, we've got the offense for him.
Kurt Signetti.
No, I don't. Yeah, that's a tough call. I don't want Signetti to leave Indiana.
He wouldn't be.
I don't want him to leave the Hoosiers. It wouldn't be.
But all right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for watching.
Who's the good coach for the Colts to get? They got to get rid of Strachan.
There's very few good coaches in the NFL, to tell you the truth. So,
about the guy out here in McVay?
He's already in LA. Why the hell would you want to leave LA for Indianapolis? That's what your wife would say to you.
That's what I said to my wife.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I wanted to stay in Indianapolis.
Oh,
I was not.
Well, what I'm saying is, so McVay would be like your wife, and he would rather be in LA.
Okay. I'm not going to go down that road.
All right. Well, we're going to get off here. For Steve Risley, I'm Mike Goodpaster.
You're going to get off here.
To the grueling truth.
I'm going to the car wash.
Speak and continue to speak even after the show is over.